But are we also going to say that when we watched that game, Daniel Laryea didn't pardon certain Nigerian fouls that ordinarily would also have been yellow cards? He did.
Every 50-50 ball was given to the Moroccan. What? But the moment kick it, pay. Again, kick it, pay. And that was exactly what happened yesterday.
The game plan Nigeria came not be what they played. It wasn't Daniel Laryea's whistling that stopped certain counter-attack. I promise you, if that propaganda hadn't happened before the game, we wouldn't have seen it as a bad performance.
It's a brand new year, and this is our very first recording for 2026. We know you guys have waited for us, but we're just as excited to be here for this beautiful, succulent, excellent. Namely, give me the adjectives. Good trouble 2026.
Oh, Charlie.
Good trouble 2026.
Good trouble 2026. Good trouble
2026.
Good trouble.
Some guy will come and say, I for sure I'm how to do the sign. You see, that's if you do that, you go do like this. They go do like this.
See, Ghana here, nobody correct. All the gentle people you see walking on the streets,
Obiadi.
when they start listening to Malam podcast,
Obiadi.
they enjoy namely.
You see, Obiadi.
That's why when the Shay said, Obia Peshe.
Obia Peshe. We are Bema dia. I want the Obi Brea. I said to me, when they are wow. DK! Oh, Charlie! DK!
Oh, Charlie!
Sicho, go there, Morocco. I want to kill him. I want to go and say, look at this man.
It's freezing.
Look at this man.
Charlie, the last time it was 11 degrees Celsius.
No be easy.
Damn.
I said,
wearing jacket
now
and
going crash a jacket be a watch. You see it too. He make more way. The Lord is my baba. Now he dey freeze for the head talk. He just hey, make him wear the chair because if the cold it hit your brain
direct.
Charlie, sit your yes, ladies and gentlemen. Sit your hey, Charlie.
God.
This job, it's tough.
Charlie, stop.
It's tough. You go say you want go. Now if you go there, then Morocco, the place be cold.
Yeah.
Europe.
And what makes it worse is the rains.
Charlie.
It's raining almost every.
Can you imagine it's raining then the weather to be extremely very cold. Negative degrees. They just did the situation. It's mine. It's mine. The one will go. What's it? It's mine. Hey, it's not mine.
Oh, Charlie.
I don't listen to him. I laugh at Kakra. Oh, we are Brahmi Kakra. Sicho. Oh, but no one fast can bring me. How me
They'll bring money. They'll bring money.
He bring us money. Let us shop.
But Charlie, Sicho especially, he's made us proud.
Charlie.
He's made us proud.
I said, this guy next one, if you go for carry me, go somewhere.
Yeah.
Sicho, you left me for here, you alone. You go.
Charlie,
But you
watch
force.
international match.
Charlie,
your boy.
And that's why Malam Go podcast. is
Charlie,
special.
everybody here be guy.
Yeah, it's special.
Everybody here be guy.
Growing up, the only times you would hear a Ghanaian commentator for World Cup or AFCON is the AUB channel. That's they're using the state broadcaster.
Exactly.
But this is our generation.
Yes.
And this is a private
another radio station from another
TV
country,
station, different country.
Private
media
to carry a Ghanaian.
Can carry a Ghanaian. No other Ghanaian but Sicho of Malam Go podcast. Obawo. Charlie, we are proud of you, Sicho. We are proud of you. You sport there. But just award not be something. That one day we understand.
You know what they kill me, guy. You know what they kill me.
Know what they kill you?
Match day, then you drop him pick.
Charlie. But boy, that's
it. The last sentence pass.
Sicho. Charlie, it be big. Look, it's for there. It be big guy.
Look, and
big guy.
And you see, every time, sometimes when we sit here and we try to inspire you people by sharing our stories, this one needs no words
at all.
Like, this is someone who started here and he's not exactly a full-time broadcast journalist.
Not at all.
Sicho often says he's not. But he's doing the big leagues. He's done Ghana Premier League. He's consulting for the APL people who are running the Ghana Premier League.
Exactly.
And now he's got international gigs. for the AFCON.
It doesn't get
And I'm
any
praying-
bigger than AFCON.
I'm praying.
Surely he goes to the World Cup.
I'm praying.
Surely he goeth.
Goeth.
Oh, Charlie.
Goeth to the World Cup.
He goeth to the World Cup.
World Cup now, they need to mix the voices.
Yeah.
Yes.
They need to mix the
And,
voices.
Of course.
and this is big because based on what they do,
Yeah.
you know, the AFCON 2023, it was only Georgiado.
Yes.
This time they've added Sichu.
Exactly.
The hope is that for the World Cup, we are going to see more Ghanaian voices.
Exactly.
Because more boys need to chop.
Charlie.
But all of this is possible because Sichu and George have gone there and they have excelled.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of it.
He's
So
made the way.
whatever it is that you do, let Sichu and George be your inspiration. That
Exactly, man.
If
Do
they
it
can
and
do
do
it,
it well.
look. And it's not just them.
You don't know who is watching. So do
Fence
it
is
and
working
do it
for the
well.
Olympics.
Exactly.
There. Kawawa is also there. Look, more Ghanaian boys are excelling.
Yes.
And we are proud to say that they are all our friends.
Exactly.
And that
Why
they
not?
emerged from amongst us. And now they are working for the
my
Olympic
only
channel.
problem is friends then he started working with the Olympic people. You not give me money job before. It's very disturbing. We had to pray for them. Kawawa to the same thing. Not give me
Charlie,
one.
Fence has been edited.
You not give me one CD.
He's been edited at the Olympics
It's
for 1
more
year.
than rough. Fence not give me one CD. Kawawa not give me one CD. But Sicho, they are the trust. Sicho, no money you on it. Sicho, you see, I've exempted you.
What
Sicho,
is knee you on there?
no money you on it. As I dey talk, you see, say I dey exempt you. I know they put you in the class of Kawawa.
Don't
they
disgrace
vent you.
yourself.
Don't disgrace yourself. Anibula boy, Sicho. I dey trust you if you come small for the boys. It's small thing
Charlie,
for the boys.
but it just dawned on me that Charlie, our boys have been balling out for a while now.
Yeah.
Go sit.
Yao has been at the Olympics for almost 2 years, probably longer. Fence has been an editor at the Olympic channel since April last year.
Yeah. And he's doing Charlie.
Yeah.
They did right to.
Hey, this boy from Tumu, he did right
They
bad.
right to.
Yeah.
The Brofono or
It's the work
if you
ethic.
call Fence,
It's
Charlie,
really
I did work on some article.
Why did it take you 1 year?
Why did they text? Why you know they sleep? You know they
sleep.
You know they
It'll
sleep.
give you stress.
Oh, Charlie, you they do your thing. Your wife.
They do what?
You they do your thing. It's my around that time they do those things.
Then because he's
No,
alone.
but you they do Jacob Rao.
No. I did do early morning.
The anybody be Jacob
Yeah,
Rao.
yeah, that's the one.
yeah.
Jacob Rao.
ours.
Now if they go after doing then they sing. Oh nyami tufo Daniel Kranti nyami beshrawo wa ye mi huwe juma da. Hey the gay.
See, I get proposal to bet with you. Make them do stand up 1 hour 30 minutes for coach. For coach, sell tickets. People go buy because it's be free.
Charlie.
What the hell
See,
is this?
I genuinely believe there is a part of our audience who don't come for the hardcore football. And
Oh, yeah.
It's what they enjoy.
They just want to be entertained.
So what
Genuinely
time do you
provides
do
that.
yours?
Oh, it varies.
Just say upentino. Time biako.
When the spirits call it.
How you dey do? But you don't say you dey save yourself for marriage.
Yeah.
But you just say you just don't
you've
say
just
it.
contradicted.
No, he was
yourself.
contradicted.
No, you've contradicted
I was asking,
yourself.
when do I pray? That's why I said when
I
the
didn't say pray. Don't put words
I
in
mean,
my
I
mouth.
had prayed.
Don't put words in my mouth, please. I beg you. Don't put words. I didn't say that.
I had prayed. That's why I said.
When do you do your own?
I had prayed. That's why I said when the spirits call it.
I like.
So if you had prayer and say when the spirit call, what's that one I say you are saving yourself for marriage? You should have said that prayer. You
Yes.
pray with us.
Yes.
But you said that you were not.
No, this one that I understood. That's why I said no.
You are just contradicting yourself.
They may normally I did like the hot sun around 2.
Hot sun, you sweat too
No,
much.
I didn't say you for the sweat. you for the sweat. Say I like that one and the G Copra. Normally, if I fire around that time, then G Copra then cool. I go cool. Oh, Charlie. The gay. They go cool, Charlie. The gay.
Christopher Nimley.
The cool. Oh, Charlie. Let's start the show.
What has started show? See, so we're proud of our brothers, and guys, we miss you.
Yeah,
we
man.
are glad that today you're able to join us for this episode. We're going to start with the AFCON, yeah? And look back on the competition because we haven't had an AFCON conversation since the tournament started. So I'll get first word from my guys on their overview of the tournament before we narrow into the semifinals and the related topics of whether or not Salah's exit and the fact that he could not lead Egypt to win the AFCON takes anything away from his legacy. And Sadio Mané as well. There are already whispers about the fact that if he wins the AFCON, he becomes the greatest in the history of Senegal. Already his teammates, Papa Gueye, said that Mané is the greatest to have done it for Senegal. And they are hoping to crown it on Sunday for him because that's going to be his final game. Danny, let me start with you. Sum up the tournament so far. Anything worth talking about, the high points, the low points?
I think it's been some of the opposites of what we saw in Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
Côte d'Ivoire, there were a lot of underdog stories. There were a lot of shocks. So we saw how Egypt almost went out in the group stage. They were in the same group as us. They had to get the results on the last day to qualify.
Ghana went out.
Côte d'Ivoire needed to wait till the last day of the group stages to guarantee their entry. There were the story of Cape Verde making it into the knockout round, Angola, the sort of football they played, making it into the knockout round.
Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, Equatorial Guinea, South Africa coming back after a long time, going all the way to the semi-finals. So there are a lot of those very interesting underdog stories there. But in Morocco, it's been the big boys. The big boys have come, they've done their business. You looked at the quarterfinals, and they had all the top 6 seeded teams plus 2 from pot 2. So there was no room for any underdog. Yeah. When they met you, they asserted their dominance, they beat you, they move. And both scenarios make very fine stories, and it makes the competition very marketable and sellable. Because yes, last time around, plenty stories about underdogs, but this time around, we already know that African football struggles to get the rest of the world along. But we've had not just the big teams, but the big stars also shine. So if anybody is a staunch Premier League, La Liga fan, non-African, and they are looking on, anytime they tune into the competition, you are hearing an Osimhen, you are hearing a Salah, you are hearing a Mané.
Have you noticed that for the first time in a major tournament, nobody's talking about flops?
Exactly, because nobody has flopped. Yeah. All the big teams that have gone out by losing to another big team. So there's no real shock in there. And for me, it's we don't usually see this thing in tournaments, because if you go around to every tournament, by all means, some big team,
upsets.
Yeah, 1 or 2. But this time around, the best teams have played the best football. And if you look at the semi-finals, Egypt's lost to Senegal, fine margins. Nigeria's lost to Morocco, fine margins. So we are seeing the standard, the men being separated for the boys, and we are seeing that the standard of African football is getting higher and higher. Even Egypt, when they beat Côte d'Ivoire, the defending champions, that game was very exciting, open, again, fine margins. One team was very clinical, the other team really missed chances. But again, it just shows you that the level is getting better year in, year out. We struggle to think whether the next tournament could match up to what happened in Côte d'Ivoire. In terms of, if you are like a movie director, I think the Côte d'Ivoire tournament was better because of the shocks and things. So for drama purposes, it's better. But when you are talking about the actual football, I think we've seen much higher quality games in this AFCON. There's a difference between quality and exciting. Yeah. When I say quality, I'm talking about the level of coaching, very technical. The level of coaching, the execution in this competition has been top tier. So I was watching this, I think one of the group stage games, Egypt's game against Benin, where Benin scored first, were keeping Egypt at bay. I was looking at it, I was telling myself that, Charlie, you see, sometimes you don't qualify, like 2004, when Ghana didn't qualify. I was watching that competition, and in as much as Ghana didn't qualify, I was looking like, we could have beaten these people. But I was watching this competition, and you are it's not like we understand why you are not.
Why we didn't qualify?
You get it. Like, you look at this competition, bro. Who are you?
Your friend Akomia was saying that Otuado and Ghana, we are fortunate. It's a blessing in disguise that we didn't qualify. Because Charlie, a lot of people genuinely believe if we had gone for the tournament, maybe Charlie Somyawa.
The level at this competition, and it's good. You see, it's really good for African football. I'm looking at this competition. I have one eye on the World Cup. Yeah. For the first time in a long time, the AFCON and the World Cup are going to be held in the same year. Yeah. It means the African teams are going to be able to carry that momentum straight into the World Cup. And the fact that this is an expanded World Cup, we need to see, and it's not just one, we need to see multiple African countries reach the latter stages, at least 2 or 3 in the quarterfinals. And I genuinely believe it's possible. When you look at the talent that we have at our disposal, the coaching ability that we are seeing at the AFCON, I generally feel like it is possible. We can go to the World Cup and we can make a name for ourselves. So I've been really impressed with the competition so far. But when we come back to the semi-finals,
what has caught your attention, Emily?
Wow. First and foremost, it's been a beautiful tournament. I'm one of those who believe strongly that the AFCON gets better almost every year.
Yeah.
And I knew going to this tournament that this would be better than what we saw in Cote d'Ivoire. That was why I was very angry when the Black Stars didn't qualify. We needed to be there.
Yeah.
Because I knew it would have given us a proper opportunity
to test
ourselves against the very best on the continent. We didn't get that. So that was so annoying to me. If you look at this tournament, look, the coaching, the quality of the football, like DK rightly said, the sort of facilities that were put before the world. You see, this is the first time I believe Africa as a continent has gotten better from a previous tournament in terms of what? Infrastructure. The infrastructure that the Moroccans has presented under very difficult weather conditions.
The drainage system.
And if you watch the drainage system, look, I saw a video trying to understand the architectural brain behind the drainage system. I say, wow. When is this going to happen in Ghana?
Do we have
We've got the money. Let nobody lie to you. We've got the money. But because of the degree of dishonesty, if you give the job to people, people will not execute the job to that perfection. They'll always find a way to produce something shoddy. Something that will ensure that after 2-3 years, we have to go back and go and try and maintain the facility. So so if you look at the infrastructure that was presented, one of the best I have ever seen. Having said that, in terms of the quality of defending, the quality of midfield play, attacking play, everything was so much in sync.
Yeah.
We needed to see our big guys score the important goals.
And they've all stepped up.
Brahim Diaz, this was officially his first official AFCON.
Yeah.
He took the bull by the horn and he virtually ran the show for Morocco.
5 goals in 6.
6 games. I think it's one of the best I have seen in recent times.
In fact, since Reverend Osei-Kofi in 65, this is the first time a player has scored 5 goals in his first 5 AFCON
consistent
games.
In every game, apart from the last game he played. Look at Victor Osimhen. Look at the commitment level. And you see, for me, the icing on the cake was, if you listen to the boys speak, all the players, they are now speaking very, very highly
of the
tournament. This is ours. If we don't market it, if we don't put it on the map of the world, who will do it for? Nobody. And they are not only speaking, but they are playing it in such a way that the world, whether you like it or not, you have to acknowledge the quality. Look at Victor Osimhen. Look at Mohamed Salah. Look at Mamouche.
Sadio Mané.
Look at Sadio Mané. Look at Amad Diallo. Fantastic player.
Yeah.
Every game, his presence was felt. Again, if you go to the individual coaches, look, I think in terms of coaching, this is the best I've seen. That is why, again, some of like me, I wanted Otuado to go there and be tested.
There are those who believe if Ghana had gone, Otuado would have been sacked by the end of the tournament.
In fact, I'm one of those who believe so. But I've never believed in his coaching ability.
You think the standard we've seen is above his ability?
Of course, it's above his ability. After all, those 2 teams that knocked it out, the 2 teams that virtually prevented us from qualifying to the tournament, how well did they perform? Angola couldn't go past the group stage.
Sudan,
the second round, got booted out. Sudan, I'm not sure they even scored a goal. The goal that qualified them, it was an own goal.
And then they scored against Senegal. I think
and then eventually 3-1, Senegal booted them out. So these were the two teams that prevented Otuado from qualifying Ghana to the AFCON. Look at them. How well did they fare? They were just out of sorts. Could this Blasters team at Otuado beating the Moroccan team, the Nigerian team, the Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Egypt, Cameroon?
Maybe
Could we?
we would not be able to beat those strong
No,
teams.
not maybe.
But at least, you think we could not at least have qualified
Do you
as one
remember
of
the
best?
last time we beat a top 10 team in Africa?
I genuinely don't remember. But I'm saying that because it's an expanded competition and now you have at least one of the 4 best third place teams qualifying, you think even that would
It was the same in Cote d'Ivoire. Was it not the same in Cote d'Ivoire?
Oh, yeah.
It was the same. And we couldn't even qualify as one of the third place ranked, best third place team. We couldn't. So we needed to be there this time around. Especially if you look at the fact that the World Cup is just ahead of us.
Yeah.
January is already gone, by the grace of God. January is already gone. February, March, April, May, the season comes to an end. June,
World Cup.
we are going to the World Cup. We are going to the World Cup. We are going to the World Cup. So we needed to be there because look, if you look at, there was a game, the Cameroon Egypt game. No, the Cameroon, who knocked that Cameroon? The Cameroon-Morocco game. You saw the game, isn't it? You saw how the Moroccan coach virtually outsmarted and virtually outcoached the Cameroonian coach.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, we'll come to that game, but I'm just highlighting the quality of the coaching. Let's look at the Egyptian and the Senegalese game. People were saying the game looks boring, but it was a very high quality game. The coaches were the one playing the game.
Yeah.
The coaches are, for me, anytime I watch a major tournament, one of the games I really enjoy to watch is the semi-final games. Not because of the excitement, but because of the fact that the coaches acknowledge that they are one step away from the final. So tactically, everybody will come out with his or her best game. And that summed up the AFCON. Maybe the only thing that I think what we saw in Cote d'Ivoire was a bit better than what we've seen is the quality of officiating. To some extent, I think the officiating in Morocco just dropped a step.
Also the attendance.
And as for the attendance, it was expected to happen because if we look at, apart from the North African countries, a chunk of the other teams
are from the West.
And so traveling there is very, very far. So the only thing that I would say that but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But it just didn't match up to what we saw in Cote d'Ivoire was the officiating.
Let's stay on the Senegal-Egypt game and talk about the semi-final. You spoke about how tactically stimulating it was.
Yeah, very, very. 2 former international players.
Hussam
Hassan and then
Pape
Thiaw.
Thiaw's progress though,
Look.
he's unbeaten in 2 years.
Yes.
He's won 16 games.
Yes.
16 competitive games.
Yes.
And then he's drawn 5 times.
Do you know what I like about him? Is his calmness.
Yeah.
You see, when the coach is that calm, he sees. He doesn't only see the obvious, but he sees the unseen. Because he's very calm. And look at his composure. He only steps in when he thinks 1 or 2 things are not going right. So most often than not, he's gotten his substitution right. Yesterday game, for example, the Egyptian came with a game plan. They came to soak and play on the counter and see whether they could play on the transition and catch the Senegalese off guard. But look at the response. He made sure that Idrissa Gana Gueye was always properly positioned. So for any form of transition,
We clean it up.
he just makes sure he mopped up. Quick, come on. You cannot misbehave. And one thing I loved about Senegal yesterday was that although they enjoyed a chunk of the possession, they were not in any rush to commit unnecessary errors. Because you may be enjoying it, but if you get overly excited, you commit errors that you are not supposed to commit, then bam, you are punished. The game is gone. So you saw the reaction from Sadio Mané. He said this. He said this.
Even after the game was won.
Yes.
But the job is
Because
not done.
people were expecting them to come
And celebrate.
and no, so calm down. We knew what we were doing. By inference, that is what I understood from what he did.
Yeah.
And look,
And truly, we didn't see any celebration
Yes.
after the match.
not at all. Because they are focused on the ultimate prize. On the part of the Egyptian, look, Egypt have gone to major tournament just like this. Majority of their playing, but they have always come from their leagues.
Yeah.
That is why their teams will continually dominate the Champions League in Africa. Egypt went to the tournament with Mo Salah and Mamouche as their star players. Okay? The chunk of that Egyptian team plays in Egypt. So as a unit, they are a very, very difficult block to crack. And if you meet the most successful team on the continent when it comes to the AFCON, you don't take them lightly.
You show them respect.
You show them respect. And that is why I admire what Senegal did yesterday. Because Senegal themselves were aware that if there's anything very capable of playing and winning a semi-final game going to the final, is the Egyptian.
Yeah.
So Senegal, yes, had a lot of the ball, but I was watching, why are they passing the ball without any intent? I said, no. Look at the defensive line cover of the Egyptian. It's that the Egyptian were setting the trap for them to fall into them, bam!
On the counter.
So if you look at the starting position of Salah, he was not too wide.
Yeah.
He was always in the middle. They were waiting for the Senegalese to commit an error, then bam! You won't catch them. That is where I respected the Senegalese coach. I respected the man so much. I said, wow, this man is very smart. Who told you he didn't want his players to take risk? You don't take risks in semi-final game. You don't. If you're a smart coach, you play to win. You don't go and take risk in the semi-final game. By the time you realize, because the most useless game to play in the competition is a third place game. So you have the most important game and the third place game. Which one will you opt for? So you keep yourself in the equation for as long as you can. And for me yesterday, that was what Senegal did. So they were waiting. They knew they had that special player. If I'm a coach and I've got Sadio, I've got Mo Salah, I've got Victor Osimhen, as part of my coaching message to my team, make sure that by the end of the 90th minute, give them at least 2 chances for me. I can bet my last person, put my neck on the chopping board, they will score at least 1. That goal that Mané scored yesterday,
It's not a
you don't
chance.
classify as a chance.
Yeah.
That is the class of the player. Best in class. At this level. Best in class. So out of nothing, bam, look at the way he picked his spot. Bam, like that.
Do you agree then with what Papa Gueye said after the match that Mané is the greatest Senegalese player ever?
Look, I agree with him 100%. Because for what he has done for the country, the only player who came close to doing that, in my view, was El Hadji Diop.
Yeah.
But Diop didn't win the AFCON with him. Diop won the African Player of the Year twice. Okay, Mané has done that.
Mané got close to the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he got close to the Ballon d'Or. Mané too has been
Champions League title.
He's gotten to the
Premier
Ballon d'Or.
League.
Okay, but where Mané edges it is the fact that in his era, Diop took Senegal to only 1 World Cup AFCON final.
2002.
Mané in his era, in 4 tournaments,
to 3.
has taken them to 3 finals. Sunday will be the 3rd final. If he can win that one, he will have won 2 out of 3.
5 AFCONs, 3 World Cups.
Yes.
2018, 2022, 2026.
Yes.
And 3 AFCON finals.
That is huge.
Those are some crazy numbers.
These are crazy numbers. And yes, it's a team sport, but am I sure they would have achieved that without him? Yes.
I mean, the numbers speak
If
for,
you take him out, I don't think they do what they have done.
he has 11 goals.
Yes.
And then 47 chances.
Yes.
Before yesterday's game. I have not checked the numbers for the semi-final though, but those were his Mané's numbers across the AFCONs he's played.
Yes. And you can clearly tell that when he's in the game, his teammates know they have a special player.
Yeah.
They've always known that. And I remember when they lost the final to Algeria, the pain was so deep. They went and came back and went straight to the final and won. They swept everybody aside. This one, but they've been a bit diligent and a bit calm in the way they've a bit experienced. But the tournament they won,
2021.
they came into that tournament very angry because they felt that they were and if you look at that, where that goal came from, you remember that goal?
Yeah.
It's a very ugly goal to win. Deflection, the ball was going zigzag, like just dropping. Very bad goal. Ugly goal. What sort of goal is this?
It should not decide that.
It should not. But decided it. Now, if you're a player within that group, you should be looking and say, wow, this is the goal that, okay, immediately you crave the next opportunity. So when they came the following year, they were so decisive in the execution of their role. We all thought they would defend the tournament in Cote d'Ivoire. They lost to the eventual champions.
Yeah.
Now they've come back. So you see the level of consistency.
Since Mané has been around, any team that has eliminated Senegal
they've won the cup.
has gone on to win the tournament.
And they've only been eliminated on penalties. So you see the consistency. And his commitment, his desire to play for his country has never been in doubt. So yes, I'm one of those who believe. Look, I saw the likes of Fadiga. I saw El Hadji Diop. I saw Kamara, the chap in the number 7 shirt. I saw Papa Biba. We saw all those guys.
Aliou Cissé himself.
We've seen all of them. I remember
Ferdinand Coley.
Yeah, Ferdinand Coley. And then in 1992, I was like, this guy, Jos Bokande, their number 10, that rasta-headed guy, when they hosted the tournament in 92. I've seen all of them play. None of them
comes close. I'll come back to you to talk about the final. But Daniel, the other side of the coin is Mohamed Salah. This should be heartbreaking for him. Because when you look at the disparity in supporting casts at club side, and then when it comes to the national team, and yet the expectations don't differ. The expectation is that he has to go on and win it. When he looks to the bench, the man sitting on the bench himself is pressure for him. Does not winning this AFCON do anything to Salah's legacy?
On a personal note, clearly, he would have wanted to win an AFCON. But me, I'm a very fair guy. Look, there are African greats who ended their careers without winning the AFCON.
Of course.
Even our very own Abedi Pele.
Yeah.
He won it, but the year he won it, he
didn't really make any significant contribution.
He was 17. Yeah. He was a kid. It was like Ronaldo's World Cup win in 94.
Yes.
Very insignificant, but it's on the CV. But in his tournament in 92, Senegal 92, he was unable to win it. I'm saying contribution to trophy.
You can even talk about George Weah.
George Weah,
the best the continent has ever seen.
Yes, he won the Ballon d'Or, didn't win. Didier Drogba didn't win an AFCON.
Yeah, he didn't win an AFCON.
That's a big deal. Yeah. Okocha didn't win an AFCON. Kanu didn't win an AFCON.
For Drogba, when it was so painful, the moment he exited.
The year he retired.
The following year, then they won. So even our own baby Jets didn't win an AFCON. And what? He knocked on how many finals? 2 finals.
Yes.
Didn't
2010,
win. So we've seen examples of some big players who have missed out on winning the AFCON, but it doesn't stain their legacy. And I'll use Drogba as an example. The last AFCON I was in Cote d'Ivoire, one of the 3 days, I think after the semi-finals, we went on this stroll and went to this local radio station. Thankfully, some of the sports journalists were speaking English and were discussing. I just wanted to understand their thinking about Didier Drogba or their legends. So we're talking about Yaya Toure. But when you got to Drogba, you can't say a bad word about He's like a god. They didn't care that he didn't win an AFCON because you can't quantify what he did for Cote d'Ivoire during the war. Out of nothing, he basically single-handedly qualified them for that World Cup, was top scorer. And if you look at the qualification for the rest of the World Cups that he made, 2010, the 2014, he was top scorer in all. The AFCONs the AFCON qualifiers, top scorer in all. He was always there. And this is a guy who was at the peak of his prowess, but would still show crazy commitment to the national flag, come back, fight for Cote d'Ivoire, travel places. They stopped the war because of Drogba.
Yeah.
So again, when you relate with people who are in the countries, when you talk to them, then you realize that
You appreciate things better.
It's not about that trophy.
No.
It's not just about the trophy. Again, when you speak to the Egyptians, when they talk, yes, AFCON is something that they've grown used to winning the thing. But what Salah has done, and many people forget what happened to Egyptian football after 2010.
Yeah.
The fact that the league was halted, they had just won an AFCON. Most of their top stars had to leave and go and find. In fact, Salah himself, there's this what do you call it? Amazon Prime did this documentary a couple of years ago where he spoke about Abu Trika advising him to go to Basel. He had to go.
So
He was part of
mainly out of necessity.
Yes. Then he came back. He was part of their Olympic squad for the 2012 Olympics. AMFA. The 2014 World Cup qualification. If you remember, he was a young kid on the block. Abu Trika was still in the team, but he was a young kid on the block going to take the mantle from Abu Trika. Ghana beats them. It didn't work out. Then slowly, he goes to Europe. The Chelsea thing doesn't work out. Goes to Roma, then Liverpool. But when you look at Salah's record with Egypt, when he started hitting the ceiling with Liverpool, it's been nothing but splendid.
Yeah.
The AFCON 2017, they reached the final. He scored important goals for them throughout that competition. It didn't work out. Cameroon beat them. Then he did something that, again, you need to talk to the people to understand what it means. Egypt hadn't qualified to the World Cup since 1990. Between 1990 and 2018, they had won, I think, 4 AFCON trophies. They were dominating on the continent but couldn't crack the World Cup.
Yeah.
They really wanted to get to the World Cup. And guess who sent them to the World Cup? In the most dramatic fashion. Salah's last-minute penalty pressure gets them into the World Cup.
For the first time in 28
years, he does it. And doesn't stop then. The next 3, in fact, since 2018 till now, he's qualified them for 2 out of the 3 World Cups. Yeah. So that is something that
he's played in 2 AFCON
AFCON finals. You can look when it gets to finals, some of the things, you look at how the Cameroon's goal, this guy, what's his name? Abubakar's goal.
Yeah,
like,
that was another
some of those things.
Bizarre goal from nowhere.
Some of those things, like, again, yesterday, Mané's goal, 2021, penalties. Finals, you can only do your, at the end of the day, somebody will win. If you are like PSG, if you are Inter Milan, that one, you know you shine. That one, you did it to yourself. They score you 5. But in some of those fine margins, like Man U beating Chelsea in the 2008, you can't go and look at some Chelsea player and say you didn't do well.
Bad,
by all means, there will be a winner. So some of these things, it's just the painful reality of football. And yes, it doesn't look like he will win an AFCON because I think the next one, he'll be 36? I don't think he'll have the same strength. But I don't think it takes anything away from him. I think he still has a huge shout. The thing is, the way I assess my African goods, I look at contribution to the continent first before I look at your club football. Because it is all football. At the end of the day, it is African football. Yeah. So it is what you've done for your national team before. And unfortunately, when it comes to some of these competitions, you need to be, in as much as you need to be nuanced about it, there's the numbers count, the trophies,
and those things.
The trophies mean something. Yeah. So if Mané has won 2 AFCONs and Salah has not won an AFCON, Mané is getting more points for me from an African point of view than Salah. But again, for me, it really doesn't take anything away from him because look, he's been such a great servant. And again, one beautiful thing about Salah's AFCON record is you can't look at any of the AFCON competitions and say Salah didn't do well. No. Mm-hmm. You can't.
Anyway, let's talk about the other semi-final, Morocco versus Nigeria. I was rooting for Nigeria to go through, but it didn't happen. And it was without doubt their poorest showing. I thought they chose the wrong day to have a bad day against the host nation. I don't know what you made of the way Eric Schell set the team up. When he first said they were going to play counter-attack, I thought it was mind games. Was the approach wrong or was it the execution that was wrong against Morocco?
You see, I don't know whether the idea of playing even counter-attack was informed by the absence of Ndidi. Because I was asking myself, if you've got Iwobi, you've got Lookman, you've got Osimhen,
And Akko Adams.
and Akko Adams, how do you get such guys
To soak
to
pressure.
soak and then counter? Clearly, you are disadvantaging them. That is not their strength. Okay. If Didi had played alongside, is it Onyeka,
Onyeka, Frank Onyeka.
Frank Onyeka, could he have unleashed these four guys? And let's go. Because yesterday, I felt that they needed something to push the Moroccan
And
back a bit.
the guy who came on for him, Onyedika, he kept giving away possession.
That is, maybe the coach knew that he didn't have that quality.
Yeah.
So it's a semi-finals game. If I don't have my captain in the team, somebody who would have brought that composure, that stability, that control in our game, do I expose myself? Or I repeat what I'm not known to do? So I was asking myself, when I heard him say that they were going to soak, I said, wow. I highlighted the players he had. And I said, Osimhen is not the skillful type of striker. He feeds on the quality of services you give to him. So if you soak and counter, you will only be using him as an outlet. But if there's nobody in and around him, if you go hard, if he knocks the ball down, to whom? The Moroccan will pick it up and then they'll come back at you. He needed to draw somebody closer to what? Osimhen. But again, one thing that was shocking to me is that Lookman, Iwobi, these guys, they are quality players. So. You see, if you are quality, no matter the pressure, no matter the press, you should be able to pass through the press. Yeah. And like you said, the one who came in to replace Ndidi,
Onyedika,
he gave the ball away too many times. And some of the time, or most of the time, he was under no pressure. The occasion has gotten to him, so he couldn't hold his nerves. You see, when he picks up the ball, he's shaking. And for me, you see, that is why as a coach, I've always said it, that when you're going to a major tournament, it is form first. If the player is on form, he can face any adversity in the game. Because he believes that he's on form. So that brings him confidence. Now, if he's experienced in addition to that, then you have the extra bonus. Look at the Nigerian team. Ndidi, wherever he is, he's playing regular, so he's on form. And he's experienced. Bassi, we saw him yesterday. By far, their best player yesterday on the pitch. Osimhen, Lookman, Iwobi. These are guys who are on form. And they've played in several tournaments. Couldn't he have gotten somebody who had played in the AFCON before to replace Ndidi in that team? Well, the guy, I don't know, but I stand to be corrected. That was his first major tournament. This is his first major tournament. And he's never played in such a big game before. So first and foremost, the replacement for Ndidi, if that was the only guy that was in the team to replace Ndidi, then I think
the squad selection
had issues.
They have midfielders in the team, but they are young. There's this Nandi guy, he plays in Belgium.
Yeah. But he's also not
defensive midfielder, but he's a young guy. I think this is also his first after. I don't think he was in the last.
Again, when you're going to a major tournament like that, you see,
but coach, not to cut you, Nigeria have had an issue with central midfielders for a while.
Yeah, I was coming there.
Yeah,
so you see, it's something they've battled with, like you rightly said. So let me just, it's something they've battled with. But yet still, having said that, yesterday, the rate at which...
I'm going through the options, none of them.
Yes, maybe. So I was asking myself, yesterday, the rate at which they did the 10 overs, Kanti, in the semi-finals, it's unpardonable.
A bit more patience.
It was unpardonable.
But the guy who could have brought that calmness is the guy who was giving it away.
That's what I'm saying. It's unpardonable. They needed to do something. Could he have withdrawn Iwobi a bit
deeper? That's what I
was asking myself. Samia, come on, Iwobi assign the chicken.
Then you give him protection.
Then you give him protection. Let them protect him so that they will play through him. I was asking myself, this guy was giving the ball away. Iwobi, we all know under pressure is very calm.
Yeah.
He will do this, he come, he moves, they start detecting. They needed somebody like that. I think that was where the game was won and lost. Because it is, you see, this North Africans, you shouldn't fancy yourself against them when it comes to penalty shootout. Most often, I'm not saying all the time, but most often they tend to win such duels.
Yeah.
They tend to win it. And then another thing that I felt so worried or so concerned about yesterday was the fact that the Nigerians didn't know when to press and when not to press.
He seemed very confused yesterday.
I just didn't. Is it the Super Eagles I've watched in the entire tournament? Because we saw them
Against Algeria.
Algeria. They virtually suffocated the Algerians. So I thought they would come with a similar mentality. Because you see, this Moroccan team is a good team. But you cannot also make life extremely easy for them. You need to complicate the issues. Just as they will not allow you to play. When they get, come on, you also pounce. You understand? So because Nigeria needed to get Morocco to do something that they would also not feel comfortable doing. We didn't see that. In the entire game, Morocco had about 14, 15, 16 shots at goal. Nigeria had only 2. One of the highest scoring team in the tournament.
The highest scoring team.
The highest
The
scoring
team
team
that's created the most
chances and scored the most goals. All of a sudden, you get to where it matters most, and your identity is just gone like that. Could the coach have done it differently? Maybe. I was telling somebody, look, maybe a typical 4-4-2. Flat. Put Osimhen and a strike partner on the tools that will withdraw one of the Moroccans midfielder, because they wouldn't like to go 2v2.
2v2.
At times you do this thing, but when you do it, it works. Because it is control of the game. If they lose possession and you can get Osimhen 1v and the other guy 1v1 against them, they will realize, they're in big trouble. It happens twice, the coach will withdraw. Now, once he withdraws one of his DM deep to nullify the thing,
that's one
then
advantage for you.
Iwobi and Co now get their chance to play, and then Lookman, and then everybody's playing. But he stuck to the diamond with the low press, and the press too was not properly coordinated. And I said, look. So after 60 minutes, I told myself, they will only win the game via a penalty shootout. You cannot starve Victor Osimhen like that.
Service.
You can't.
He finished and they took him off before the penalty.
Yes, because he got injured. Because you see, once you starve him off, he'll be fighting for things
Pointless runs.
Unnecessary runs. And this is your main man. Does he command the respect from the opponent defenders? Yes, he does. So what do? Let them feel his presence. With the quality Nigeria has got that they had, they couldn't go to the flanks and play to Osimhen's strength. Put the ball in the air, let him jump with those guys there and see whether he wins it. For me, look, I don't know, but like you rightly said, it was the wrong day
for them to have a
bad day. Unacceptable. They want to play in the third place game. But let me just say something on the officiating from the Ghanaian yesterday. Look, I think the last time we had a Ghanaian officiate in such a game,
78.
90. Wow.
Yeah.
1978. Did you think he did himself any good yesterday?
No.
It was so bad. It was so bad. You can't do that. Who spoke to him before the game? Ketukreko is there. When he was giving up, did he sit him down and say, look, this is a chance that don't let it pass us by? We want our referees to be exposed to such big games. So. Now, if this is our topmost referee, and you go and you officiate the games like that, who gets the next chance? Who gets it? Me or you? Who else? I think this was the game that he should have just nailed it. Calm down. If it is a foul, it's a foul. Irrespective of who it is in favor or not. Officiate.
There are those who say, even for the decisions that we agree with, we cannot point to one decision or any decision that he made that altered
No, you see,
the outcome of the game.
for those who are saying that, I'm sorry to say they don't understand football. See, when a referee start officiating game like that, you are preventing the other team from playing their game. You may think that the decisions you are taking is not impacting the game clearly for everybody to see. But football is about rhythm. Okay? When you see the likes of Spain, but look, for them to dominate or for them to, every team at that level, you have your spell. You see, 5-10 minute spell. Then it came, 5-10 minute spell. But yesterday, virtually, every 50-50 ball was given to the Moroccan. Why? Why? Every 50 ball. Maybe those were the 50-50 balls that could have gotten the Super Eagles to also go on the transition and go and punish. But the moment, kick it, pay. Again, kick it, pay. Kick it, pay. Kick it, pay. If you do that, it's like, okay, he doesn't want us to play forward. Let's protect what we have. And look, you don't need to do the obvious. But I'm into football. I know what referee normally does to actually prevent you from playing your game. And that was exactly what happened yesterday. If I'm to grade him, it's 3 out of 10. I won't even give him 50%. Because it was the semi-finals game. Yes, it's against the host nation. We know how things are. Look, when the German hosted the Euros and they lost to Spain, did you watch that game? You see the top officiating. The Germans were not favored in any way. Beat what is in front of you if you can. No, but you're not going to get favors from anybody. Eventually, Spain knocked them out. Before the tournament, I have predicted that thing is a tournament that looks like Senegal-Morocco final. But I see the Nigerians as, because they didn't go to the World Cup, they may use this to please their supporters. So they were my dark horses. And yesterday, I felt that referee Laryea frustrated the Super Eagles so much that he virtually took something away from them. Even that penalty kick, that boy, what is his name?
Chukwueze.
Hey, Douala.
That's how he takes his penalty.
But until last night, he had never missed a penalty for the Super Eagles.
That's how he takes them.
That's how he's been taking it.
Yesterday was the first time he missed.
And that's the way he's been taking it.
Cool.
Jump inside.
Wow. Guess what?
Hey, Wahala. Hey, he's really disturbed the people of Nigeria. For all you know, is it at that level then? People are working on.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact that the Moroccan technical team had seen all the penalty takers of Nigeria. So too the Nigerians. So there's a history. And they've informed the goalkeeper. So the Morocco goalkeeper, he knew that was what he was going to do.
Yes, Bono.
He knew. He knew that was what he was going to do. And the sensible person would tell that in such difficult situation, or in such situation, you see, it wasn't to make it 1-1. It was to give Nigeria an advantage. Nyansampo, yefanikwa. An advantage. Kowichi. Bim! Easy. We are in the lead. You don't compromise. Easy, we are in the lead. Yeah. Then you send them. Then you put them under more pressure. Look, if he had scored that penalty, Nigeria would have qualified. And then the other guy too who came.
Teams don't give up 2-0 advantage.
No, I've only seen that of the Black Stars of Ghana.
Yeah.
And I've always attributed that to lack. And for me, I've blamed Max Ekunedu. He was not the head coach, isn't it? But I've blamed him for that. I've told him personally that cup that we didn't win against Cote d'Ivoire after we had taken the 2-0 lead. We needed our best penalty takers to start.
From them.
To give us that advantage. No one say, you get the advantage, you know. So bring your best foot forward. You don't go and put Jordan and Dede as last 4 and 5.
Jordan took first.
Jordan took first. And then Dede was the last.
Dede was the last. So Dede should have taken the third one. 3-0.
We win 3-0. Then you tell a champion and the free Mokome at the back shot. Wow, Kaopola me walk a cap and yaga.
But shot.
But shot. The cap no coin crying. Like a chill 2-4 muna de obi a fili cap no. 44 years ni yam fili.
Fili.
Yam fili cap no. How do you know?
And it's been 11 years since then.
Oh, my brother. So for me, Chukwueze. Is that not the name?
Yes.
Chukwueze. He quazed the Nigerian public. Charlie, Chukwueze was quazing the Nigerian. He said, quazy.
Crazy.
Is he?
Samuel
Don't lie.
Chukwueze.
Or quazy alatafono. Just say, wow.
Charlie.
He's worried them. Like I said, it was to give Nigeria an advantage.
Yeah.
So move away from those trickery. Look at them, over 70,000 people. You are going to trick Bono. How I wish I was the one. Make Komechi. Let me give you an example. Then the case. You remember when Hassan Kotoko, you make kiss the cap.
Yeah.
You remember the one who took the last Has penalty?
Yeah.
Donko.
Michael Donko.
Yeah,
Mandingo.
Where did he start from? Usa Okoneti. Or Tusa Obano.
We mess you.
Kotoko goalkeeper the will say where they are sharing with the ball nation enko. Kabim! Yashe straight to Accra. Me. Oh, Chukwueze.
Cranton, would you want to focus on Morocco in the final? And if you have any views on Daniel Laryea, you add that.
Look, first of all, Eric Shell.
Okay.
The last AFCON, Mali were really good in the group stages.
Yes, they were.
Then they reached the knockout
I
round.
don't like where you're going.
Pressure game against Cote d'Ivoire.
Is that not the one he
Cote
cried?
d'Ivoire got a red card.
Yeah. That's the one they put.
Mali scored after the red card, and this is all in extra time. Then Cote d'Ivoire scored 2 goals in the second half of extra time and go on to beat Mali, who had the advantage, and they were pouring the water on his head. If you looked at his team set up after they had scored a goal, when the Ivorians became carefree, they could tell they were going out. So
Yes,
it was
so they were
high risk,
lazy.
high reward. And he failed to capitalize on the spaces they were leaving him behind. He made some silly substitutions. Your team doesn't know how to sit deep and defend. And you've gone to take out what's his name? That number 7 guy, no? The Borges guy, no? The one he scored a goal. No? He scored a goal.
Yeah.
No? The guy was almost playing like a right back, trying to soak pressure, and then he messed the whole thing up. I was really looking forward to see how Nigeria will approach this game.
Charlie.
But Eric Shaw has disappointed me.
Wow.
And he's giving me Pochettino vibes. They are really good, but when it comes to crunch time,
Moses.
Ofambola.
thank you.
Moses.
He will lead you there, but he will not take you to the promised land. Because that approach yesterday, and the fact that he couldn't change anything about
Charlie.
it, 120 minutes.
Oh.
And I will not agree with anybody who tells me it's not just Ndidi. See, the quality on that Nigeria bench, the different profiles of players that they have.
You could have used it to do so many things.
So many things. Plenty.
Oh, no, hard.
You could have done so many things. But he just left it there. And when I was watching the game, in fact, before the game, the Wednesday, Tuesday, the preview show we had, I said, look, if I were Eric Shell, I would not encourage, and I didn't believe, same thing, I thought it was mind games, because I was like, if you are going to do defense and counter, similar thing as coach said, Nigeria and the attacking 4 that they have are not necessarily counter-attacking options. What's his name? Lookman fits that bill. But Osimhen and the Adams don't necessarily, they are not like that. So they could struggle. And again, if you encourage one-on-one duels between Osimhen, Masina, Osimhen, Agued, Osimhen will struggle. Yes. Because those guys, those two, that's what they live for.
That's what they live for.
Agued and Masina, their entire careers, one-on-one defense, they like it. They like when you come and pin yourself to them. They'll deal with it. Osimhen won 1 out of 7 duels in the entire thing he was on the pitch. And if you isolate him and you are doing boom boom, couldn't Eric Shell see that the thing wasn't working? Like the most dangerous front 3 in the competition, they were so far apart from each other. When Lookman gets the ball, he has to run 4-5 yards before he can give a good pass to Osimhen. Akwa Adams touches the ball and he's far away from him. So I was, why can't he? And one thing about being a top coach is being able to coach under pressure.
Yeah.
That was where he should have shown us that he's a top guy. He can get the job done. Because look, Morocco, if you haven't seen, pressure has barbed them from day one. They just need somebody.
So if you can suppress them a bit,
you worry them.
You worry them.
But Nigeria just couldn't get him. For me, that was disappointing. Number 2, and this is from a Moroccan point of view. Regagu, you know the guy, he's a solid guy.
Yeah.
He's a solid coach.
Why?
On him coaching you.
Look, is it, before I continue, this whole idea that he's not doing well and if he doesn't win,
Who are
they
those
have to
saying that?
Is it because we are Ghanaians so we don't feel the way Moroccans feel about the team, or
No, it's I on one hand I understand it, but if you follow deep enough, you know that it's a silly thing. But I understand from the surface point of view, we are looking at the amount of investments that they've put
That
into this
is
team.
maybe that's why they're saying that.
The money they've pumped
he
into
says
this team.
he's not afraid if they like they can
They're
sack him.
giving him
Yeah, of
so
course.
much. But I think that if anything will save his job is that World Cup semi-final thing. And it's good enough to sustain him to at least to the next World Cup.
He has some
But
good
reaching the
credit for
final
that.
is a big deal because they've not reached the final since 2004. In fact, the last time they reached the final, Ghana was not in the competition. This one to Ghana
Ghana
is
is they've gone to the final.
So it should tell you something. But again, and the last time they reached the final, it was
Tunisia 2000.
Tunisia. That was what? Tunisia, that was
2004.
Tunisia's first
Yeah.
title. So okay, maybe. No, the two of them they win for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Regagu, you know, especially this Nigeria game, he changed so many things at different the last 10 minutes of 90 minutes, he changed his approach. Yes, they were dominating, but he knew that, look, and I like coaches who respect opposition. Nigeria haven't played well, but they have magicians there. If I slack, you'll be there, no, some magic from Osimhen, some magic from Lookman. But he kept it cool. Yes, they still dominated possession, but similar to what the Senegalese were doing, he was not forcing the issue.
Don't force it.
Sucked the life out of the game, slowed it into extra time, started playing again, realized that this thing will probably end up in penalties.
He knew.
Took the steam out of the game.
Just to add, you see, these are the intelligent, the very good coach. He knew that where the game had gotten to, if you keep risking it and he concede, there wouldn't be enough time.
Yeah,
to come
it's
back.
done.
And
done.
there's another 30
It's another
minutes.
30
There we go.
minutes. And that was smart coaching. He did it again in extra time. They dominated the first half of extra time, dominated second half. Then about 7 minutes to the end of second half, calmed it down again. And it looked like they were almost settling down for penalties. And you see, that thing is a very intelligent psychological tool. When the team on top is now playing like they are satisfied.
You see, let me give you a perfect
He's telling
example.
you that.
Let me give you, you see, when we lost to Angola in Kumasi,
Yeah.
or to Ado, when we lost to Angola, you see, we had dominated the game and we were creating. But in the last 5 minutes, a 0-0 would have been okay.
Yeah.
But still, Otto started going. And then we conceded. There was no time to respond.
That counter.
And then we lost.
And all these things come with experience.
Yes.
Regagu, and I'm saying that's that tactic of you being on top. You see,
Yes.
when you are dominating your position, they know that they are under pressure.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, the Nigerians who can tell that Morocco are okay. They are telling you that the penalties that is coming, no, we
are
have a
ready
plan.
for it.
We are ready. So if you want us to go to penalties,
Let's
let's
go.
go. Another thing, I don't think you people have noticed this thing about Bono's body language during the
Penalty
penalties.
shootouts.
He doesn't shout.
Yeah.
He doesn't smile.
In fact, he didn't celebrate when he made the second save.
He's waiting for you.
Yeah.
He's just looking at you, waiting for you. As you are walking, he has his eye on you.
He maintains eye contact.
You see what he did to Chukwueze?
Yeah.
And one coach was saying that he knew. Look, they've steadied him.
On him.
We all knew that that's how Chukwueze takes. Chukwueze is your Dem Hazard, Jordan type. They wait on your movement to make a decision. What did Bono do? Bono moved to his left space on the right-hand side, took a step to the right, pointed to the left, did like he was moving to the left, and then it wasn't even like a dive. He just laid down because he knew the ball was coming there. He had already committed. So the last thing Chukwueze saw was Bono moving opposite direction. Tax it here. He doesn't kick with power. So I can move here and still have enough time to make the save. And that is intelligent experience. And the guy has been doing this thing.
and research.
He
To know where the guy hits the ball to.
Bono and penalties, no. You don't want to go into penalties. He will catch. We were watching the game. Then we did the atomic day. We watched the game. They had a big screen for it. What they tell the guy, they stand by me, say, I don't know about Nigeria, but guarantee Bono is saving at least 2. Not that Nigeria are missing. Bono is saving at least 2. So he will catch like 2. If Nigeria will hit bad, that one they be a match. But Bono will save at
The one
least 2.
go the pole.
The one go catch 2. So Morocco miss. And I said, Morocco will have to miss another one for it to be balanced. Because I promise you. And then I said, I promise you, like, put money for top. Bono asked, quarter 2 penalty goes. He saves the first one. When the guy who missed was coming, I did celebrate.
Bruno.
I did celebrate because I'm not. But that was a very good penalty.
Yeah.
It was a very good penalty.
And it had power.
It had power. It had direction. Bono ran here. I don't know how his right hand came from.
And then ended it.
Charlie, the guy is a keeper. Lastly, see what Nigeria did before the game is something that these big teams, and I'll use Real Madrid as an example, they do it all the time. They set a certain narrative and force it down everybody's mind. Whether you want to consume it or not, they've successfully put it here. So what happens is that when you are watching the game, you are looking for an opportunity to agree with the narrative that has been put in your head.
Or you are viewing it through their lens.
You are viewing it through their lens. Laryea is going to cheat us. The Ghanaian referee is going to cheat us. The Ghanaian referee is going to cheat us. They were discussing it on all their platforms, tweeting it everywhere. Hey, Ghana, we are brothers, so tell your guy not to cheat us. So they are going to cheat us. So they are going to cheat us. So they are going to cheat us. So every small decision that we saw is now amplified because in our heads, we sort of expected it. But when you look at the game closely, look at the numbers. They say, and coach mentioned something very significant, that he was disturbing the rhythm of.
Yeah, I mean, that was where I had issues with him. That's all.
Morocco created, or they had the most possession of the ball. They had the ball most of the time. When you have the ball most of the time, you are less likely to commit more fouls. But if you look at the difference between the fouls, it was just 7. Nigeria committed only 7 more fouls than Morocco. For 120 minutes, these two teams played, and there were only 2 yellow cards in the entire game, which went to Nigerian players. Yes, people will look at that Bassi Diaz yellow card and say it was soft. But when you strictly apply the rules, there was a hand to the face. It wasn't intentional, but his hand did graze the face of Diaz. And once it touches and the referee sees it, it's a yellow card. Do you understand? Like, you can look at the replay and say that, it was soft. Maybe you wouldn't have. But those are subjective decisions. But when it comes strictly according to the rules, he applied the rules. It was a yellow card. Yes, there were certain things the Moroccans did, like the set pull by Diaz, which should have been a yellow card. But are we going to sit and say that
kicking the ball away, that also should have been a yellow card? But are we also going to say that when we watch that game, Laryea didn't pardon certain Nigerian fouls that ordinarily would also have been yellow cards? He did. He let some fouls go. And you see, for me, I felt sad for him because the propaganda that had been fired before the game. Look, it is tough for you to go in that game and succeed. The referee see this thing. The fans were talking about it in Morocco. Fans preview, he mentioned it. That's what the Nigerians are saying. They were saying it. So the pressure on you to go and be fair, you will start second. Klopp used to do that thing a lot. They will single out certain referees. As for this guy, he's always cheating us. So when you go into the game as a referee, the thing is a foul against Liverpool, but I'm afraid that if you blow the whistle, they'll say that the Liverpool boys are cheating them again. So you let it go. Then somebody does something, then now you have to level the play. Then now you've lost control over the game. I think per the context of this game, how it went, I think he handled it well. There will by all means be certain decisions that, maybe this one he shouldn't have, this one he shouldn't have. But when you give a ref a bad performance, there's a reason why we usually look at high profile decisions, because those are game altering decisions where it's clear. Yes, you can say that some of these decisions altered Nigeria's style. But I also ask the question, when the game flowed, the game plan Nigeria came not be what they played. It wasn't Laryea's whistling that stopped certain counter attacks from
I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. I'm saying that I promise you, if that propaganda hadn't happened before the game, we wouldn't have seen it as a bad performance. It has a way of playing on your mind. Everybody, are they atomic? The people all then they watch, Charlie, when a Ghana guy, no, they can't cheat. the game hasn't even started. So why are you saying that? Because that's what everybody is saying. So look, we also need to recognize the fact that these competitions, major competitions, there's a way they go. You would not be kept as an official during the last 8, the last 4, if you've not earned your stripes. He has done CAF Champions Leagues. He has done CAF Confederation Cups. He's done AFCONs in the past. And his performances at those AFCONs have warranted or have earned him this opportunity. If because of certain
is it not the
conversation...
one who officiated some South African game? Bemola is a
No.
That was
Joseph Lamte. Joseph Lamte or Wellington?
Lamte.
Bemola is a Bemola and no penalty.
Wellington be different.
That game, that guy.
But the thing is, look, and it's good you mentioned this example because that thing, it damaged the reputation of Ghanaian referees.
But that game, the day we saw the videos, we knew Lamte was in trouble. Even before the protest was.
You see, when the guy raised the flag, it's a Bemola is
And you see, look, it is important that we look at today on TV. You mentioned the throw-in incident that confused everybody. But me, when I was watching, and I was happy, I was watching in a loud place, so you can't hear the commentators, you can't hear. So when I'm watching games like that, you have to pay attention to what is happening on the pitch. You look at some of these cues. And when the thing happened, the Moroccans were confused, the Nigerians were confused. They tell Morocco thought it was a foul. And then Daniel points to the linesman. Then they took a long shot, and you could see the linesman had flagged that it was a throw-in. So that decision is not his. He can't see. They've paid somebody to man the line, and the guy said it's a throw-in. They communicate, so he whistles. It's a throw-in. Yes, it went against Nigeria because Nigeria had the ball. They were shielding the ball, and then it went against them. But that's not a Daniel Laryea decision. Again, some of these the shirt pull and
the Hakimi free kick at the end.
Are they like these things? Charlie, we've watched enough football to see some of these funny. When you support a team, it's painful. But I always say that I'm happy. This one I could watch it one time because if Morocco qualify, I don't care. If Nigeria qualify, I don't care.
Now.
But most of the time when my team is involved, I will go back and watch the game again because by that time emotions have settled out. And I will assess and see whether it is as bad as we are making it out to look or not. I generally don't think so. And I'm wrapping up. The good thing is that I watched the Egypt game before the Nigeria game. And the Egypt game, that ref where he ref the Egypt game.
He hard guy.
The guys, he's a top guy. But that guy Mina. That referee ref the Egypt Senegal game. That guy Mina. I mean because
is it Uganda or Gabon?
Yeah, it'd be like Eastern. I think it's Eastern Africa. That guy, no.
I'll get it for you.
Anybody who knows that guy, see, he can give a penalty that is not a penalty save, but the face he will give you when he gives the penalty, you can't complain.
If you can give you red card,
you can't complain. But in that game, something happened. So after the Daniel Laryea game, no, I went back. I went to watch the last 10 minutes of the
Pierre Hacho from Gabon. Pierre Hacho from Gabon.
That's my guy, no. The last 10 minutes of the Egypt Senegal, we all watched the game. You could tell the Egyptians, no, they will start diving, they will start doing their theatrics. Yes, they were diving. But he played to reputation. There was a last minute foul on the edge of the box. The Egyptian was fouled.
I think Mustafa Mohamed.
But because they had done a size, hey, get up. And he don't even watch them.
I know the guy is a bully.
Salah, they beg him.
He's a bully.
Salah was begging that he said, Massa, get up. And straight after that, no PPP, I end the game. No, don't come and talk to me.
Pierre Hacho is a bully.
And I was telling somebody that, see, if that thing was Daniel Laryea,
he died finished.
He died because of what had happened before the game. You get what I'm saying?
But also, there was hardly any moment of contention in Hacho's performance.
Do you know why? Because you had no emotion. Nobody had said
No, I'm saying
that if you were watching that game from an Egyptian lens, you say he cheated. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but even you've admitted that a lot of the calls he made on those fouls, spot on.
Right.
Yes, as for diving, they were
Spot on.
diving. But you see, that you don't get what I'm saying. I'm saying that
That decisive
that
moment.
decisive moment, he played, he made a decision based on
Purely on
reputation.
reputation, yes.
Because Salah almost here. So he almost expected that the guy will fall down. The guy falls down, but the replay shows that he was fouled. And he said, hey, get up. He didn't care. Master, he said, get up. And I'm saying that if that was Daniel Laryea, he died. Because, and you see, the thing is paying because, Morocco have done it before in these AFCONs. This last AFCON session, Cote d'Ivoire did it themselves.
Yeah.
Cote d'Ivoire. Referees come, the short guy, that Ethiopian referee, the short guy, that one
The guy
wicked
who-
man. That man too.
big
Big head like the Sema. Wicked man.
Big head like that.
They don't want him. They don't want him. They don't even Ghana Sef, we were doing some before the game. One of our AFCON games, I think it was the Egypt one. Which
Bamlak Tesema
Tesema.
Wayesa.
he too, he do with some before. So when it comes to referee, hey, we don't want you. Those things, they always play. And remember that when you are going to face a team like that, when you are going to play a game like that, and one side is vehemently against the referee, it also feeds into the other side's their mind. And the referee too. So
Was it a situation where
Charlie, right now they've
one team complained and the referee was changed during the tournament?
yes, it happened with the Morocco
So
and
Cameroon.
Could CAF have changed because of the
This one.
Nigerian complaint?
the thing is, Nigeria didn't complain before. They didn't
Also, you
officially
don't want that to
complain. It's
become
the
the trend.
fans who
Also,
were
you don't want
complaining.
that to
You don't want that to become a
the
norm.
trend.
Yeah.
But
When
this
they
thing you
say
mentioned
this-
about Tesema, I just checked. Charlie, the guy these days his Confederations Cup matches he's been
He
handling.
be wicked man. He be losing the demoter. He be wicked man. Hey.
Look, time is fast spent.
See your face.
Let's. Oh, you know him, Tesema. You know him.
The big head guy. He dey run.
That guy
He go
from
he go
Ethiopia.
wait, play on. Then he dey run
Then
away.
he
Then he
run.
dey chase him. He say, hey, play on, play. He no go mind you.
Look,
Hey.
who wins the final? Namely,
Wow. Okay, so until I heard Sadio Mané interview that says that the Sunday's game will be his last appearance at the AFCON. I had tipped them on Morocco to win. And the two teams are in the final. For the if you look at how far Morocco has come, the sort of infrastructure they've put up there. Don't forget the football they've played. Yes, the infrastructure. They've played football deserving of a champion.
Yeah.
Senegal too. The football they've played. I think on the strength of what I have seen, I think the host nation will edge slightly. Because it will be so much tension that the Moroccan players cannot afford to disappoint. I think they'll be ready. I think they'll be pumped. And they'll be ready to go the extra mile. As to whether Senegal can withstand what Morocco will throw at them. Because don't forget, I've watched this Senegal's team. They tend to give some good chances to away. Defensively, I think the Moroccans are more solid than them. I'm not sure Koulibaly will be fit to play in that final. And that, in my view, is a huge mix. Because if you're going to be playing against the host nation in the final of the AFCON, you need your leader, you need your captain, you need your defensive organizer, the one who speaks and everybody could tone to his voice to be in the mix of the game. I'm not sure he'll be fit. And I will not advise that he's rushed to come and play. Because I think if you look at the injury he sustained yesterday, it's something that has been there that popped up and took him out. I don't think with today, tomorrow, Saturday will be enough time to recover. But if that injury could force him out of a semi-final game, I don't see how it gets fully recovered for the final. And the fact that Morocco has been one of African best team in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
My head said they will win. But I want Senegal to win. For the sake of Sadio Mané. Sadio Mané is one of the finest players I have seen on the continent of Africa in recent times. But to also be truthful to you, whoever wins it,
They would have deserved it.
they would have deserved it.
It's one of those finals.
Okay.
Those finals.
I think it will come down to experience. If there's any team that can poke that puncture, that pressure puncture that Morocco have, is Senegal. They've grown in experience. This is their third final in the last 4 AFCONs. Even the Algeria one they lost, that goal came in the fourth or the third minute.
Yeah.
And from the Algeria didn't create anything. It was Senegal who were on them, but they didn't deserve to lose.
It just wasn't
meant to be. Remember that the Egypt game too, they had a penalty that Mané missed.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the game, Egypt didn't do anything. Had that penalty gone in, that would have been the end of the game. And rightly so, they went out and they won in the penalty shootout. I'm saying that when you look at them and how they've managed high pressure AFCON moments, they have shown that this is a team that has matured very well. And they've done something it's something that since I met coach in 2017, it is something he's been saying Ghana should do. And Senegal have done it so seamlessly. The transition that if Ghana game doesn't play, you will not know.
You don't know.
How many games has Pap Matessa started in this AFCON?
I think only one.
Yeah.
You don't even remember. The Pap Gay, the Villarreal boy, he's playing. Most of us didn't think he'd be a bang-on starter. Lamine Camara is a bench player. He comes on. And they have so many options for different positions. And they are top-class options.
The coach said
Ismail Assar didn't start
the coach said he has 24 starters.
Bro, Ismail Assar didn't start the last game. It be Ilman, Ndiaye, Nicolas Jackson, and Mané. Ismail Assar no start. The small boy from PSG who came on and scored, that guy can start games and win you an AFCON because he's that good.
Yes.
When he comes on for PSG, we see the quality level. The thing is, they have done a sweet transition where they don't necessarily over-rely. Like when you look at Mane's role in this, it's not all balls to Mane.
No.
There's a system. Yes, he's very productive because he has a certain higher level of quality. But it's not all balls to Mane. It's not if Mane flops, we are done. No. There's a system that is working. The team is working. And the maturity level, the mentality. I want it to be a very exciting final. Yeah. But I'm afraid it could be the PSG Inter final. So not a 5-0. But one team just collapsing. Okay. And when I say one team just collapse, Senegal will score earlier, Morocco will crumble. Because the pressure to equal, then Senegal will score again. Then Senegal will score again. Then final and say. But what could save Morocco in this analogy I'm giving is if Senegal, with the experience I see they have, start a bit slowly, try and feel themselves into the game. But the Senegalese too are smart. You don't want to travel the distance with this Moroccan team. Because the penalty, Bono no. Look, Mendy, yes, is good. But Bono no. You don't want to go to penalties with him. Senegal now, they don't enjoy penalties. No. If they are not facing Egypt, they can't win. It's true.
Yeah.
If they are not facing Egypt, they can't win. The last AFCON, Côte d'Ivoire beat them. Before that, World Cup playoff, Egypt, they won. AFCON, Egypt, they won. Before that, Cameroon, penalties, they lost. Senegal, they don't like penalties. Go back to 2002, they lost on penalty. They have a very bad record on penalty. They only win if it's Egypt. And Egypt is not there, unfortunately. So they will not want to travel the distance. So I have this feeling Pap Thiaw will want to get an early goal. And it's possible, Morocco start the game it's normal. Host nation, the pressure, Rabat, the stadium is big and the echo. That stadium echo. If you are day one side where I talk at you 10 seconds before you go hear me. Echo. If Pap Thiaw's team can get an early goal, I think the game will be done. Morocco will struggle to come back from it. But again, Senegal, they've won some. I want Mané to win. If he wins 2, it's nice for Mané. But Charlie, the Moroccans have done too much not to win this trophy. It's pain. I like when you work, I want you to be rewarded for your work. I don't need to like you to want that for you. But Morocco have done too much. And not just for themselves. They've done too much for Africa. They've saved us who? Women's AFCON, they hosted it because nobody can host. The next one, they are hosting it. This year, March, they are hosting another Women's AFCON. They've hosted this one. They hosted under 20. They've done
28. They are likely to host it. AFCON 2020.
Charlie. So They deserve it. They should win. Bottom line, as coach said, whoever wins, I'll be happy for them. Yeah. Whoever loses, I'll be sad for them. It's one of those things.
Well, look, you may have missed us during the early rounds of the tournament, but I think we have been exhaustive enough tonight on the early chatter about the early rounds through to the semis and now to the final. We've spent, I think, more than an hour on the AFCON. That's our show for today. We do hope that you can share the link, subscribe, like this episode, and make sure that you leave a comment because we would like to know what you also think, what you've made of the tournament so far. This is the only time we're going to meet you as far as the AFCON is concerned. The next time we meet again, we're looking back on that final. So leave your thoughts in the comment section. We'll see you next week.